What's up, guys? Welcome to Thoughts by Mara with me, Mara Sullivan. If you haven't listened to my last episode on publishing my first book, go check that out. My book, Grief Unsupervised, is available on Amazon. It is in paperback and it's on Kindle. The link is in the description. It is a book about losing my mom at 25 and this grief journey that I'm on, lessons I've learned and I'm still learning, things that have helped me survive and move forward in life while also carrying immense grief every single day. If you or anyone you know is going through it right now, check out the book, and as always, thank you for your support. So in today's episode, we are doing a May recap, a little audit, planning for a successful, productive, fun June, and also prepping for summer. The highlight of May for me was, of course, publishing my book. We went live on Amazon on May 29th, right at the end of the month, which is so cool. That was not planned at all. It just worked out that way, which I love because it'll give me really clear analytics on the first month of the book at the end of June. I'll have a clear picture on what's working and not working, advertising and sales wise, and I can plan for new things to try and different ways to market all summer and the rest of this year. The cool thing about a book is that it's out there forever, or however long I want it to be out there. The promoting and getting it in front of new audiences can go on for years and years. I can publish in different languages eventually. I can publish the audiobook on Audible. It's not just a one and done situation. This is something that will continue to grow, hopefully, as I continue to grow and expand. May was also my first full month in my new apartment. I do not miss my old apartment at all. My new spot is perfect. It feels good. It feels like I've lived here way longer than a little over a month, which is how I know it was the right move. It feels like home, at least for the time being. This is a 1-bedroom apartment, and I'm sure that I will want more space in the future, but for right now, this is perfect. Mother's Day was also in May. I think I worked on Mother's Day and just came home and had a chill night. I don't really remember that Sunday, but I do know that Saturday night before Mother's Day, I went to a gospel concert, and I also took off that Saturday. I walked to Cafe, I think it's called Cafe La Maison. I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's under a bigger cafe here in Baltimore called Cafe Dear Leon. I went there that Saturday morning, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because I tried the crab dip bagel for the first time, and it was incredible. It was the best food I had in May. It was the best food I've had this year, honestly. That crab dip bagel from Cafe Dear Leon, they sell it at both restaurants, like the main shop, Cafe Dear Leon, and then this one that I went to, their sister shop, La Maison. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but they sell it at both places, and the food was that bagel, it's not a regular bagel, it's just good. And I'm a Maryland girl. I'm very particular about anything crab related. It's the best. It was 10 out of 10, hands down, the best thing I've had to eat all year. I got that bagel, the crab dip bagel, and I also got almond croissants, and I got a matcha. It was the perfect Saturday morning, especially since I usually work Saturdays, and so it's a treat when I have a leisurely weekend day. I also got super into matcha last month. It does not give me a headache like coffee does. I still think my body does not like caffeine in general, and so I do not have matcha every day, but it's definitely a favorite drink now. As far as goals for June, I want to get back into posting on-camera YouTube videos, more in-depth videos on the self-publishing process, my experience so far with Amazon KDP, using Fiverr, marketing that's working and not working so far, things that have helped me complete the book in only 6 months, which I did get into a little bit on my last episode. When I was writing the book, YouTube videos from other writers motivated me so much, and I learned so much from real people, regular people who had done it, and so I definitely want to share my experience in similar videos. Filming on-camera videos is more time consuming for me than doing the podcast. I am not someone who can naturally just turn on the camera and start talking. It takes more effort and preparation for me to film on camera, and so it requires more planning and setting dedicated time aside when I film videos. But That is definitely on my list for June. This is random, but everything I'm saying is random. I also need to find a new primary care physician because my primary care physician stopped practicing to be home with her family. So I'm so happy for her, but I like to stay on top of my health, and it has been over a year since I had a physical, which is not great. So I need to get on top of that this month. I did go to the dentist last month, which was great. Now that I'm thinking about it, May was a pretty productive month. Like last month I had a cleaning. This is your sign, by the way, to book all your appointments if you have been putting them off. Sadly, at the dentist, I did have 2 cavities, which I'm not surprised by because I got out of the habit of flossing last year, and I also did not schedule my cleanings last year like I was supposed to. That is the first time since I was a kid that I've had cavities. But I want to get back into not having them at all, ever. I'm glad I got that taken care of, and I'm back to staying on top of my teeth health. Is that a thing? What is it called? Teeth health. That doesn't say oral care, right? What is teeth health? I'm gonna start saying that now. I forgot. I literally forgot what I was saying. Oral care. Also in May, I saw the Michael Jackson movie, and I have been down bad for Michael ever since. I did go through a big Michael Jackson phase as a kid where I would watch his videos nonstop. I had a Michael Jackson book bag in school. I brought all the CDs. My mom, of course, grew up in that era, and so I was listening to Michael in the womb. We would watch the original like Jackson's miniseries thing every Friday night. That was basically the Michael biopic before the Michael biopic. We listened to the Jackson 5 on cassette tapes. He is definitely the first singer I remember knowing as a child, but obviously the movie has succeeded in creating a major renaissance resurgence of Michael mania. I already have 3 or 4 episodes on Michael and the movie. I did a Jaafarjackson episode before the movie came out. I did a part 2 after. I just did a whole episode on all the allegations. I have no doubt that I will be doing more episodes just fangirling over Michael, because I'm going to do more at the end of this episode. Like, I have been having such a good time rewatching all the videos I grew up on, listening to all the music, discovering songs I haven't heard before, rediscovering songs I had forgotten about. One of my friends just told me about the Pretty Young Thing demo version. It is a slower, more classic, like R&B version of the original, like the one that we all know, Pretty Young Thing. I had not heard the other version before, the demo version. It is so good. It sounds like a different song. It's really good. The soundtrack of the summer for me is all things Michael Jackson. I do not care if someone else releases their song of the summer. I already have my songs of the summer. I feel like my favorite Michael Jackson song changes as I get older, but currently it's You Rock My World. I feel like You Rock My World has been my number one MJ song. Like, it's held my number one spot for a few years now. When I was little, my favorite Michael Jackson song was You Are Not Alone, but R. Kelly wrote that song, and now I can't enjoy it. Like, I can't even listen to it. I definitely can't enjoy it the same way that I used to. It hits different now, unfortunately. But all June and all summer will be even more Michael Jackson. I am down so bad for this man, and he ain't even here. Of course, when I was a kid, I was not paying as much attention to how cute he was and is. I know he's not here, but like, he's so hot. He's always looked like an angel to me, but like, now I can just appreciate how fine he is in every era. Off the wall Michael, bad Michael, dangerous Michael, invincible Michael, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I don't care which version. I don't care which skin complexion. I don't care which hairdo. I don't care which nose. The man was fine as hell. Like, 27-year-old me is able to appreciate a lot more than kid me was. This month for me is also like about going hard with the content. I don't even know how I started talking about Michael just now. Again, everything about this episode is random. But I guess I'm talking about things I got into in May, and I went to see the movie in May. So yes, that was a big part of May for me was Michael Jackson. This month for me, June, is about going hard with the content. I'm challenging myself to post 2 podcast episodes a week. This is the second one that I'm recording this week. And also to film on camera videos like I already talked about. Health wise, I've been really intentional about upping my protein and minimizing my carbs, intermittent fasting, having my last meal before 6 p.m. Cutting back on carbs significantly has really been a game changer. I feel lighter. I have more energy. I know it sounds cliche. I see a difference in my body. I just feel better overall eating less carbs. Y'all know I love my popcorn. I love my potatoes. I love any form of a potato. I've just been keeping my carb portion smaller, and if I'm eating carbs, it's earlier in the day, so it has all day to burn. I do want to throw myself a little like solo book release party to celebrate at some point, maybe this month. Publishing happened so fast. I was able to release the book way sooner than I thought, and so it was kind of unplanned. I didn't plan anything special or do anything special for the release. I was mainly just happy that it was finally done and now it's out in the world. I still have a lot more marketing to do, but I do need to celebrate being a published author. Like, this is so freaking cool. Of course, I have to do a trip to New York City soon, especially going to New York City being a published author. Like, that's gonna be so dope, because it's my favorite place in the world. And it's also just the mecca of art and creativity. Right now, I'm just investing money into promotion right now, but I do need to do something special for achieving this huge goal. This is also your motivation to not waste the second half of this year. I started working on this book in January and now it's out. I promise you, if you tune out the noise, eliminate distractions, move in silence, don't worry about getting a bunch of feedback or input, just put your head down and get to work. You have no idea how fast you can actually get something done, but you have to focus. Like, it is called locking in for a reason. You really do have to get rid of as many distractions and like lock yourself in. Like, that's literally what it is. Lock yourself in. Get rid of as many distractions as possible and have tunnel vision and just stick with something long enough to see it through. The start of a new month is the perfect time to get serious. I know life can be more carefree in the summer, but if you have goals you're serious about accomplishing before this year is over, do whatever it takes to get them done. Even though I work a lot, I still find time to have fun so that I don't go crazy. Like, this week I'm going swimming, which is my favorite hobby. I'm having my first pool day of the summer this week. I'm such a fish. I love the water. I am not one of those girls who goes to the pool to sit there and look cute. I'm in there doing laps. Like, I love to swim. This month is also Father's Day. My dad has never been in my life, and so I don't do anything for Father's Day. I actually used to take my mom out on Father's Day because obviously she was a single mom, but I don't think I'm doing anything this year. I don't remember what I did last year. Probably nothing. I'll be at work that day. I might do a Father's Day episode for anyone who also grew up without their father or lost their dad. One of the things I actually discovered about myself while writing the book was that because I had already learned to accept my dad's never being in my life, I technically already grieved a parent, just in a different way. I have a whole chapter on that topic, shameless self-plug, which I'll be doing in all my episodes. Every episode you're going to hear about the book. Sorry, not sorry. This month is also Juneteenth. I just realized I'm off that day. Like, now that I think about it, that's like next week, right? Maybe the week after. I'm off for Juneteenth. That'll probably be a good filming day. Life of an entrepreneur, no days off. Like, I'll still have some fun, like, and still relax though. I'm definitely good at balancing work and play and relaxing. The work I do is also work that I enjoy. Even my 9-to-5 and my part-time weekend jobs, like, don't stress me out too much because I don't let them stress me out too much, honestly, which I know is such a blessing and I do not take it for granted. I've definitely worked plenty of jobs I absolutely hated, but I did what I had to do to get to where I want to be. And I'm still not fully where I want to be, but I'm in a really good place. There's usually sacrifices in anything that's worth it. I also, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm off for the 4th of July, which is going to be really nice. I'm definitely off the day before the 4th of July because that's like a holiday. Or like that's when businesses will observe the holiday. So I got some nice days off coming up that I didn't even realize I did not realize I had until now. Last year I did go see fireworks at a park. I think I'll go somewhere and watch fireworks again this year. I really like fireworks. I don't know what that's about, but I do. I know that there's a festival going on here in Baltimore for Juneteenth. AFRAM is that weekend. Charlie Wilson's performing. I think Chloe Bailey's performing. PJ Morton, a bunch of people. I'll definitely go to that. I don't know if I'm going to go to see like any of them specifically, but I know that they'll be performing. But I'm definitely going to go check it out, see some live music, eat some street food, celebrate Juneteenth. I actually looked into being a vendor there, like selling my books at that festival, but I would have to take my own table and chairs or my own tent, plus pay a fee to be a vendor. Like normally the vendor fee includes the table and the chair. Like that's usually the point of a fee. But AFRAM said bring my own table, my own chairs, or my own tent, which I would have to also pay for separately. And so that's just more money and more work than I think it's worth. But I do know that the exposure would be good. And I'm definitely looking forward to finding more like vendor opportunities and selling the book in person. When I do those, I also have to buy a bunch of the copies of the book to bring to sell. And so it's just like a lot of money up front to do the in-person like selling events. Like I said, most of this summer and the rest of this year for me will be about book, like, and going harder with content, doing more on camera content. I also want to get the book on other websites besides Amazon. I think Amazon KDP has a 90-day period where I have to stay exclusive to Amazon, which is fine. And after that period, I can sell through other retailers, and I will definitely be doing that. Honestly, Amazon is the biggest one with the widest reach, which is why I chose to publish through KDP. But the goal is to get in as many or like get on as many of the big bookstore websites as possible, Barnes & Noble, Target, and then actual in-person retailers. It would be so cool to see my book in an actual store or a library on a shelf. Like I'm really looking forward to that. But for now, online is where I'm at. It is really cool having my book like in my house though. Like I'm literally staring at it right now, like the physical copy of my book. Like that's insane. And I've always wanted to be one of those writers who just had stacks of their own book to sign on their desk. And that's what my office looks like right now. And it's the best feeling in the world. But what was I saying? Sorry. Book. That's the only book, and Michael Jackson. Like that's the only thing that's in my brain right now. It's like that episode of SpongeBob. I can't remember where he could only like say two things, and I can't. That's gonna bother me. I need to figure out what episode that was. But I feel like those are the only two things in my brain right now. Book, Michael Jackson. There's nothing else in my brain at the moment. Yeah, I really don't remember what I was saying. More content. I do want to get into filming more short form content. I am a long form girly. Like I love this show, of course, and I love doing sit down videos on YouTube, which I can turn both of those into short form clips. But like I said, just jumping on camera and talking does not come naturally to me. And so I think it would be good, like a good thing to push myself to do more like this summer, to get really into getting more into short form content, especially since it's less time consuming than filming whole sit down videos. Of course, I have to start my annual rewatch of The Summer I Turned Pretty this month. I rewatch that show and Aquamarine, the movie, every year. I need to finally read The Summer I Turned Pretty books. I have never read the books, and I feel like that would be a really fun thing to do this summer. Getting outside every single day is a must, especially after the winter from hell that we have had. Like, I am so glad it's hot outside, and I am taking full advantage of that. My voice is kind of like fading as I speak. I'm so sorry. I do not mind the heat at all. I'm a fall baby. I'm born in October, but I love summer weather. Speaking of my birthday and being born in October, I am about to enter the last 2 years of my 20s. I turned 28 in October. I feel motivated to max out my 20s as much as possible, and I feel like I've been doing that. Like, I just need to turn it up a notch on like visibility and content. If you have never watched Danko, Dankoe, Danko on YouTube, his videos really lit a fire under my booty last year and really made me go so much harder and push myself even more in my 20s specifically. He's a big reason that I published this book. He is all about maximizing your time, especially your youth. He is super entrepreneurial, and I just love his content. One of the first videos I watched, I think there's actually 2 of them that's about the 20s specifically. One is called I'm 28, here's how to get ahead of more I think it's of more 20-year-olds, or how to get ahead of all 20-year-olds, something like that. But I know like the beginning of the title is called I'm 28, here's how to get ahead, something like that. But the other one is called What It Takes to Get Rich in Your 20s. Even though those titles might sound kind of generic, his videos are super in depth, and it just, like, listening to him, it just clicked something from me. I encourage anyone in their 20s to consume his content, especially if you're someone who does not want the normal cookie cutter life. There's nothing wrong with following a more traditional path, but it's just not for everybody. If you know you're different or you don't fit in, you will love his videos. Dan Coe also has a podcast. Just search his name and he'll come up in whatever podcast platform you search him in. But I absolutely adore him and his content, and he's just inspired me so much to max out my 20s. Going back to Michael again, because I promised to continue to fangirl about him at the end of this episode, and he is someone who is also really motivating me right now to max out my 20s and just max out my life. And since I am on a Michael Jackson kick right now, I think I'm gonna have to I think I'm gonna do an inspired, MJ inspired rest of my 20s. Like, I think it's on theme because I'm already committed to going hard and making the most of my life. Consuming so much Michael content is just so inspiring. Like, it's inspiring me so much to give my all to everything I do, and for lack of better words, not half-ass anything. Just since watching the movie and consuming so much of his content the past few weeks, rewatching old interviews, the music, of course, watching live shows, behind the scenes stuff, just seeing the work ethic and like the love and dedication toward his craft makes me so excited to create more and be more disciplined and not hold myself back or put things off for later, because later might not ever come. It sounds crazy, but since being on this kick, it has been so much easier for me to eat healthy, to work out, to stay consistent, working on content, to get more creative and think outside the box. I just feel so much more energized. It's like Michael's like my hype man right now. Like, he is like my hype man and my kind of like my reminder to just take myself more seriously, not in the way of being stuck up or too serious, but take myself more seriously as in not play games when it comes to reaching my full potential and believing that I'm really accomplishing all my goals and getting everything I want simply because I'm not settling for less from myself. What I really love about Michael is that everything he became was just a result of good old-fashioned hard work. Like, of course, he had God-given divine talent and a one-of-a-kind spirit, but that had to be combined with the literal blood, sweat, and tears of working hard from the time he was 5 years old. I really believe the quote, "What you put into life is what you get out of it." And also, I like the other spin on that quote. I don't know whose quote it is, but like, what you put in your body is what you get out of it is also true. It is so easy to look at people and their success and not acknowledge the sleepless nights, the loneliness, the mental toll, the pressure, all the behind the scenes stuff underneath the shiny, glamorous parts. Said all that to say, I am just inspired to squeeze everything I can get out of life and out of myself. Keep showing up when I don't feel like it, reminding myself that sacrifices pay off, reminding myself of the accomplishments and goals that I've already achieved. I'm used to it now, but I also have to remind myself I'm literally working 2 jobs 7 days a week while being a writer and a creator also, and still going through grief and regular life stuff, but I'm also having fun. Michael has also reminded me to find the wonder in everything. He was one of those people who looked at everything like it was the coolest thing ever. It's so easy to lose that excitement as we get older, but just like I said, just consuming so much of all of his content, he just never lost that sense of wonder. He's such a great reminder to never lose that sense of wonder. I just thought of the song Smile, smile though, what is it? Smile though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by if you smile through your fear and sorrow. Smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Michael did not write that song, but there are tons of videos of him singing that song. He loved that song. Fun fact, I actually hate that song. I hate that song. That Smile is the saddest song in the world. I believe it is. But it's also so true. Michael Jackson was exhibit A, that you could have all the life, you could have all that life had to offer and still go through the worst of the worst pain and trauma and insecurities and heartbreak and betrayal, loneliness, but he still found ways to smile, which is why I think he loved that song so much, and he still found ways to love and spread joy and give back and to keep showing up until he literally couldn't show up anymore. It ain't over till it's over. You know what it is? Also, I feel giddy. I've never used that word before in my life, but I feel giddy about life right now, even though it's not perfect. I'm doing so many different things. I'm still figuring things out. I'm not letting the stuff I don't like distract me from seeing everything I do like about my life. So I think that's where I am, or what it sums up how the Michael mania has made me feel right now. I am giddy and I feel like a kid, and it's a pretty good feeling. That is it for this episode. Check out my book, Grief Unsupervised, on Amazon. Link is in the description. My Instagram is at Grief Unsupervised. My TikTok is Thoughts by Mara. Thanks so much for listening, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye.